Cheer.
We go.
Hey,
everybody. Welcome to the Jeff and Dan Show.
Hi, this is post-show Mumbo Jumbo. Oh, wait a minute. That's not my name. I'm Jeff.
I'm post-show Mumbo Jumbo.
That's him.
I'm Dan, and thank you very much for sticking around and being here with us later on this evening, where we just talk about what we just talked about.
That's right.
I do have a rant from the last session.
Okay.
You were not a coffee drinker, but do you have many coffee drinkers in your circle?
No. I mean, I do, but not people I hang out with pretty exclusively.
Let's talk about coffee.
Okay.
I am a wee bit of a coffee connoisseur.
Yes.
I'm not saying I am the authority and I know every fucking thing, but I know a couple things about coffee.
Right, yeah. As you should if you drink coffee.
Coffee is best brewed in small batches.
Yes.
Okay.
Not 5-gallon buckets.
Not 5-gallon buckets. And that's where the industry trend was going.
It still is. As far as I know, every place that I go to, like convenience stores and shit like that.
Turkey Hill went to it. Sheetz went to it.
Yeah. WaWa does it.
WaWa does it.
Yeah, unless you get a custom coffee. Then it's different. You know, because then they kind of like hand brew that shit like right there for you. But that's... Who has 5 minutes to wait around for that shit, you know? It's like,
well,
your Frappuccino, half calf, half latte, half macchiato, fucking balls to the wall, fucking screaming, energy-ridden fucking espresso is here, you know? No.
Sheetz changed.
Did they?
Check it out next time you go to a Sheetz.
Yeah.
I think maybe they shot themselves in the foot. But all these places went to these 5-gallon buckets, coffee maker things.
Yeah.
And honestly, folks, one of the reps told me one time, it's a soft heat. A soft heat? I've never been able to put my hand up against 200 degrees or 180 degrees and just, that's soft. Yeah. No, I'm taking away my hand because that shit burns. That's right. Soft heat.
What do I have? Blisters?
Anyways, what they're doing with these 5-gallon buckets is just cooking and recooking the coffee and recooking the coffee. Depending on what store you go to, they don't clean them, they don't drain them, they just make more coffee on top of it.
Right.
Anyways, it sucks.
Yeah.
Sheetz was doing that, and Sheetz was the best with the 5-gallon buckets. I'll have to admit that.
Okay.
They're the ones that they did clean out their things, they did drain, they did make new.
Right.
Now they've gone to these. One touch, put a cup under there, and it brews it right there for you.
So it's like a Keurig.
Almost, but no, not really.
Oh boy.
It leaves froth.
Oh, okay.
When a Keurig is brewing coffee, you have mostly
coffee product.
Well, it's all black or dark.
Yeah.
Or deep brown.
Right.
Not with these new Sheetz. They're coming out foamy. In fact, when I first saw it, I had stopped because, I don't want milk in my coffee.
Right, yeah.
That's what I thought it was doing.
Yeah.
It leaves froth.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
I hate it.
That's gross.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But they're having mixed reactions, though. Some people are saying it's the best damn coffee they ever have, and the other people hate it.
It's mostly just filler. If it's air, if you think about it, you fill up your cup, maybe like an inch of it's nothing but froth. That's just filler. You know, it's not doing you any good. Yeah, that's just gross, man. Yeah.
Sheetz has done a lot of things that dude, they're not really that great.
Yeah.
Their food is not that good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's only good for the convenience, as with WaWa and Rutters and any of these, it's mostly just for the convenience.
Do you drink Sheetz chocolate milk Gallagher's?
I do, yeah.
Do you like it?
It's my favorite.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't drink their chocolate milk because I don't like their teas, so I'm thinking, their chocolate milk has to be just as bad.
No, their teas are weak as fuck. Their chocolate milk is banging.
Is that right?
It's banging. It's the number one for me.
My
boys don't tend to agree, but my boys have been inundated with nothing but mostly Rutters chocolate milk, so that's what they're used to. You know what I mean? So they don't get that groove on when it comes to like the different types of chocolate milk that you can get, and Gallagher's is just fucking amazing. It's like a chocolate milkshake that's been melted. It's really good, but it's thick. That's the thing too. A lot of people just kind of like, some people are weirded out by that. You know what I mean? You drink and it's kind of like it leaves like a residue. But that's the one thing I love about it. It's like the fact that, you ever had those milks where you drink it and it like leaves a coating in your throat and you're just like, ooh, and you're like, ooh, and you're trying to get it out. You know what I mean? That's the kind of chocolate milk they have.
No.
Never had that, huh?
I know you don't like Turkey Hill chocolate milk.
I do not. Yes, because it's usually watered down.
Have you ever had their Red Cap chocolate milk?
Yes.
You don't like that either?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
I do like that.
That's the whole milk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the you're right. The original is dishwater.
It's fucking
I didn't used to think so.
Yeah, Rutters is kind of like that too.
Dishwater.
Yeah, it's kind of it's watered down. It's not bad.
You know what it is? You know what I think it is?
But,
It's brown sugar milk. There ain't no fucking chocolate.
right. Yeah, it's just been colorized.
Yeah.
It's colorized milk. Ooh. And we threw a little bit of Palmer's chocolate in. Fucking Palmer's. Oh shit! It's Frankfurt chocolate. Ooh, yeah. No. You only get that shit if you like went out to a store and you've actually bought chocolate. You find the cheap ass chocolate's Palmer, or it's Frankfurt, and it's always really chinsy and it always just tastes like wax. It's just really gross, but. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's just.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like Palmer though. Sometimes,
it's
but yeah,
rare.
it's low grade generic.
Yeah, it's
chocolate.
nowhere near Hershey's or Dove or any of that shit. So, but that's the interesting thing. With Sheetz, the chocolate milk is very very close to a thickly made Ovaltine. Have you ever had Ovaltine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ovaltine's the best, man.
I like Ovaltine, but I like Quick better.
I like Quick, but the only thing I didn't like about Quick is the fact that it's basically just completely devoid of nutrition. Ovaltine is made it has vitamins and minerals and stuff in it. You know what I mean? It's made to be like this wholesome kind of breakfast thing.
And it tastes like it.
Yeah, well, to an extent, yeah. I mean, it doesn't taste like I'm popping a bunch of vitamins.
Just a few.
Yeah. It's got that fucking orangey vitamin C taste to it. Yeah. So, but yeah, no.
Metamucil.
Hey, I don't give a fuck. The chocolate's making me regular. But yeah, that's Sheetz. I mean, that's a shame about their coffee, though, man. That's just really weird. How the whole trend is like heading downhill like that. But I remember back when we were managing certain convenience stores. We won't mention Turkey Hill.
Don't say Turkey Hill.
No, I won't say that. But I do remember at one point in time, you really kind of went on the offensive about AirPods. You thought AirPods were going to suck. And then you were like, after time, I think you kind of got warmed over to them. Which is just a real weird way of saying that, but
because I've been trained.
Right.
Because I've been trained, and now I understand that the killers of coffee are heat and air.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And with those AirPods, which you shouldn't call them AirPods because that's kind of deceiving.
Yeah, it is.
They just use air to force it out.
Right. Yes.
They're amazing. Yeah. They are amazing.
Yeah. It's a thermos of coffee, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It doesn't keep it. It keeps it hot, but not through heat.
Right. It's through its own defensive mechanisms, but it doesn't get oxidized. So there's no air getting in there, fresh air getting in there, ruining the coffee by making it stale.
And it can stay there a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. And it still tastes good. As opposed to like a fucking pot of coffee that just sits there gathering air and just getting stale and getting kind of incomplete. 20
minutes later, it's dead.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, it was good in that effect. But then they try to take these coffee processes up a notch. It's like, we had the AirPods and those were great, but you could only hold like less than a gallon in one of these things. So what am I going to do now? Well, I know. Let's make a really big fucking machine that's this goddamn wide, and we're going to put a pot this fucking big underneath of it with a thing in a basket that's this fucking big that has a filter that looks like a pair of grandma panties, and we're going to drop a fucking shitload of it's going to be 4.5 tons of coffee into this basket, And we're going to put it in there. We're going to puke it all into this fucking big-ass bucket, and the bucket's going to do absolutely no good when it comes to retaining heat because it's too wide. If the big 5-gallon bucket things were tall instead of wide, they would retain the heat better, but they don't.
Well, they're under heat constantly.
Yes, but
they have to be.
Well, the new one, yeah, the ones that they have like the Rutters, the ones that that I've seen, yeah, basically they brew it and then they put it over on top of this thing, and it's got this system that keeps it going. But the majority of it's like that vacuum sealed shit. The problem is that those damn things they have way too much room in there for that air to move around and for that coffee to go ahead and get stale. And by releasing the lever in order to get the coffee, what you're doing is essentially pumping air into it, but that air now has more room to viably flow around or whatever. And when you're pumping the coffee out, it's circulating the coffee inside. So what's happening is the top part is getting stale and the bottom part is getting shitty. So if you get to the top part of that coffee, it's going to taste like shit. You know what I mean?
I don't like Rutters coffee to begin with.
I'm not a big fan of coffee to begin with. But I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But if they made those things really, really tall, skinny, but tall.
Like me.
There you go. Then you would be able to have a hot cup of coffee. You're a hot cup of coffee, Dan.
I'm a hot cup of coffee.
So, yeah, that's a real extreme about that. And there's just some things you're right about with Sheetz about their food not being on par.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish, man, I wish there was something you could do about it, but there's really not a damn thing you can do about it, except for complain. And I tell you what, out of all the fast food places, or out of all the convenience store places, Sheetz is one of the best to get back on their stuff. I bet you if you went on Twitter right now and said something about Sheetz, hey man, this is fucked up, they'd just be like, okay, let's work on it. Give us some ideas. What do you got?
Let's see.
Go for it. That's the thing. He's going to work on Twitter, and I'm going to stand here and...
I messaged them when I walked into the Sheetz.
Yeah.
In East Pennsboro. No, wait. In Camp Hill.
Okay.
Brand new Sheetz.
Yeah.
And the coffee was empty except these 2 new machines. And I knew about these machines because somebody over at another Sheetz employee was giving me the course about it. Okay. Good employee, selling his product.
Right.
Fortunately, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But they had a little sign that said, the old coffee style will be available until 10 a.m.
Okay.
So I went to this other Sheetz in Camp Hill at 9 o'clock. And no coffee.
Oh, jeez.
Except over there in these machines.
Right.
So I let them know that at Sunday, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Monday at 10, they reply, hi, Daniel. If the store can't help, please contact our care center with some additional info. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bit.ly contact Sheetz 1-800-765.
Yeah.
They couldn't solve it right there.
Right. Well, they usually can't. I mean, they usually need to take a little bit more time, and that's the way it is with a lot of companies, though.
I simply said, I don't like this new coffee system.
Right.
And I can't stop here no more.
Yeah. Well, I think the way they're looking at it is, wow,
you got a fucking problem, Colin.
We got 1.9 million people visiting our stores every month.
Maybe they're just too big, man.
You're not even a drop in the bucket at this point. You're like the fucking molecule in the bucket.
Maybe something can be said for corporate America getting too big.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot that can be said about that. But at the same time, our reliance on that kind of stuff has become massive too.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, if you just made coffee at home, who would you have to complain to?
Well, dude, that's what I've been doing now.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. It's a little bit cheaper, but I'm going to sound like a cheapskate. You could fill this up at Sheetz for 84 cents.
Yeah.
But now you have to fill it up at Sheetz for 84 cents with junk frothy coffee.
Junk froth.
I don't think I can make it with my Keurig for 84 cents.
Right.
I think it cost me about a little less than $1 using 2 K-cups to make this here.
Man. That's actually kind of cheap.
Yeah.
2 K-cups for...
Yeah.
Ruh-roh. Ah.
Well, there's R2.
All right. Hello, R2.
So what else you want to talk about? How was the show tonight?
I think the show was pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I think we should go on the air and tell everybody, let everybody know that of our future plans.
Okay, let's do it.
We never released the schedule of road trips, so that's still sort of sitting on the back burner.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do that now?
Well, we already did it. I mean, but it's just I have to release the video so people can watch it. It's still, unlisted. That's the one where we have like one special event each month.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I don't know. For some reason that night we decided just to keep it unlisted.
Because it wasn't true.
I think, that might have been that, but it might have also been, we wanted to possibly do some editing to it. But some of the ideas we came up with are fucking brilliant.
Yeah, go ahead and release it, man.
I think that would, I don't know, man. All of our 4 fucking followers. We'll get them.
Here's maybe if we have any audience left tonight, they could help us with a little bantering of us with some show ideas.
Okay.
I was thinking of 2 ideas. One of them that keeps nagging me, dude, that we're just going to have to go live and go in front of people and do stand-up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is what we're going to have to go do.
Yeah.
If we want to make a living at this.
I'd be all right with it. I mean,
How about
depending on what we have.
How about I just sit on a chair and watch you and
let me do the shit.
So I don't know if we're gonna. That idea just scares me to death. It don't bother you though.
No, not really. Stand-up comedy for me is like. It's like.
Are you into
DJ.
trying it?
I'm into it.
Okay.
I'm into it, but I think we should walk in with a little bit of an idea of what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, not just wing
Yeah,
it.
not just wing it. Yeah, because I mean, although improv is cool, it's just.
With comedy, you have to have a laugh every 10 seconds.
Right. In order to succeed, you
Yeah.
do. Otherwise, you lose your audience, and then all of a sudden you're a fucking failure.
You're giving a talk instead of a
Right.
Yeah.
This has gone from a comedy stand-up special to a TED Talk.
The other thing another idea I had, was there's a radio station in Carlisle. It's not very popular at all. It's a rock station.
Okay.
I think it's WIOO or something like that.
Okay.
It's not very popular at all. In fact, after the sun goes down, it dulls back power to like only people in Carlisle can hear it.
Oh, wow.
Did you ever hear of something like that?
I have.
A radio
yes.
station will dull down power.
Yes. Yeah, they keep themselves from having to expend too much energy so they can save money.
And then I guess they have to.
Yeah.
And then other stations just bleed right over top of where they were.
Yeah, yeah.
Like big. That's what always amazed me when I was a kid growing up. You know, I guess you don't get that anymore, but at nighttime, 11:30 at night, you pull in this station from Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
Or West Virginia, and it's
Yeah.
just like, how in the hell?
Yeah.
Why can't I hear this during the day?
It's AM radio used to be like that.
Well, that's what I was listening
FM's not
to.
like that anymore, but AM radio used to be like that. Yeah, it used to be able to pick up fucking stuff from Canada. I was in D.C. and I could hear shit from Canada, from Toronto, live from Toronto. And I'm like,
Broadcast. Well, it takes about 10 seconds to get down to you.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get there, but it's It's
Well,
not
what
that
back to that radio station is.
bad. Yeah.
What if we I don't know, rented an hour, went in there and just did our thing for an hour in there, bought that hour.
We'd have to control our F-bombs.
And I think I could do that.
I'm thinking you could do that too.
The fuck I can.
the easy part would be you being able to control that, not me.
You haven't said it. I've said it more tonight than you have.
Maybe, except
Oh,
for
yeah.
that whole DJ thing when I was talking about the.
That don't count because that was context.
Yeah, but it counts for the radio. Oh, FCC, don't worry about us, man. Yeah, because
He had to say ass fucking ass fucking ass fucking ass fucking ass fucking.
Fuck me, fuck this, fuck that, fuck it all. Yeah, that would be my only concern. But then again, as a DJ, I have to control that.
I say you got practice now.
Yeah, so I mean it's not too difficult, but it's like every once in a while I worry that I'm gonna slip up and say, "Look at that fucking ass!" Oh shit! I didn't mean to say that. Fuck.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, dude, you can get up off the floor now and go over there. Father, the bride passes out and shit. I liked his ass. What?
What's the worst wedding you've ever been to?
One for DJing?
Any.
Or any at all?
Ask me. Yeah,
go ahead, Dan. What was your worst wedding?
Mine.
Really?
My first one was, there was all kinds of red flags. It was almost as if something above was saying, Dan, wake up, stop, Dan, wake up.
Yeah.
I mean, the marching band.
Yeah. Oh.
That morning, I left Hanover.
Yeah.
And I went to Dillsburg.
Yeah.
And I had to get a belt or something. So I went to the store or something. I was coming back. Started getting pressed for time. And it was Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was noontime.
Yeah.
And it was time for a football game.
Yeah.
And, of course, Northern High School, the high school sits across the street from the football field.
Right.
So the band,
Had to
the
go
players,
across the thing.
the students, the parents, all had to cross. And, dude, so that took some time. I'm like, come on!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get fucking married here. Yeah.
And the other thing was, I remember the sky when I woke up that morning. And the only way I could describe it to you is take a pot of boiling water.
Okay.
Okay, it's boiling. Now stop it for a second, just so you can like take a picture of that water. How the surface is with bubbles on top and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you could take it upside down and turn it into the sky.
Okay, so the clouds were like a bubbly.
Boiling.
Okay.
Reverse boiling.
Okay.
I saw it since, 2 or 3 times since.
Right.
But that was the first time I ever saw it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, man, that sky really looks bizarre.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Then, we were at the ceremony, dude. Maybe you remember this, maybe you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We start the ceremony, and a rooster starts crowing.
Yes, I do remember that. I was like, oh, good, look. Even the cock wants in on this. Yes, I do remember that.
So, it's almost like there was something there. Dan, wake up!
Yeah.
Stop!
Yeah, what are you
Wake
doing,
up!
man? What are you doing? Oh, my God.
And then I swear, we went to the same hotel room. I'm almost sort of half believing we went to the same hotel. And I'm almost certain we went to the same hotel room as me and my ex-fiance went to in 1987.
Oh, shit.
So I know it was the same motel.
That's fucked up.
So, maybe I shouldn't have married her. I know. Well, I know that now.
You figured that shit out now. It's a little late in the season.
My second wedding was really nice, though.
Yeah.
So far, it's turned out pretty good.
Yeah. We didn't have that many problems that night. It was all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know too much about that whole garter thing. I got a lot of trouble for that, but,
Sorry, dude.
That's all right. I don't give a shit. I still have your garter. I still have the garter from the wedding.
I wonder if, it was artificial flowers or were they real flowers she caught?
I don't remember.
But they were real.
I have, as a matter of fact, I have the boot from your wedding, the glass boots that were vases or whatever. And I had the flowers in it, but somehow during a bunch of moving and stuff, they got separated. And I don't know where the flowers at. They were like a blue posies kind of, kind of flowers that were in it. And then, but I still have the thing, and I'm putting it at the bar.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, as soon as I get the shit done with the bar, I'm putting it there, putting it in a highlightable spot. But yeah, that's that wedding to me was that was really cool. I mean, that was the first time I ever owned cowboy boots, and the first time I ever had a bolo. I still have the bolo somewhere too.
Same here. Well, I had to get rid of the cowboy boots because my feet just what do you call that when they spread out like that?
Yeah, they got wider.
Corns or bunions, or
Oh,
I got
yeah.
one of them, and I couldn't fit it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it prevents you from getting your feet
But I still have the bolo, and I still have the shirt, and I think I still have the jeans.
I think I still have the jeans, too. They're just buried.
Yeah, I'm sure mine are buried somewhere
On a body.
at the bottom of a river.
But I know where they're at, so it means I still have them. No, I have the bolo and I have the garter.
For a while, a lot of people came up to me and said that was a cool wedding and it was a good reception, and a lot of people just remarked about the food. We had we did have good food there.
Yeah.
Good dinner. We had.
Who was that? That was the Hunt Club or something, or the
I
Hunt
don't
Club
know.
or
I
something.
don't remember who we hired.
Oh, the caterer. Okay. I thought, well, no, the place we were at. Where was that at?
Of the fire hall, or was it some kind of Creekside Fire Hall? Was it Creekside Fire Hall?
I don't know.
It was
Your
near
wife's gonna kill
Creekside.
you, though, now.
What's that?
Your wife's going to kill you now, though. She's like, you don't fucking remember?
It's okay. I remember the song we danced to.
I don't. Dude, I couldn't tell you anything about my wedding reception.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing I remember is the pictures that I've seen of us cutting a cake, and I was wearing a vest, and the wife was wearing a maternity skirt because she was pregnant.
With who? Liam.
Liam, yeah. And that was it. That's it. I remember us cutting a wedding cake.
I remember it. I remember more than you.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Yeah.
However, you know, a lot can be said for nerves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's
They
like,
fuck with your memory.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And with my wedding, I'm an eater.
Yeah.
I'm an eater. I
Yeah.
could hardly eat at my wedding.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, that's one of my things when I DJ a wedding. I don't eat.
You don't eat.
I don't eat.
Oh,
There's a couple of reasons why. And almost every single wedding that I've been to, they've given me food. They're always like, would you like this plate here, or do you want it over there? Oh, I'm not hungry. Thank you anyway. Now, technically, I am a little bit hungry. But I'm so hopped up on Monster that, like, my body just goes into this overdrive mood. And I don't feel like eating. It's like kind of when you go outside and do a bunch of exercise. You don't feel like eating at that point. It's kind of very much like that. Except...
It's drug induced.
Right. Except I do have a little bit of a craving to eat something, but my mind is telling me don't eat anything. Because here's what would happen if I ate something and then I got violently sick. All right, all you lovely people out of... Fucking puke splashing off the mic and shit.
I didn't know they got a fountain.
People come over and dip their marshmallows in a fucking skewer and shit.
Smells like corned beef hash.
And eggs. The fuck? I thought that was chocolate. It's not. It's Rutters water. They're chocolate milk. Sorry, no, it's good. No, but yeah, it's gross, man. This shit is like, I don't like the idea that something could happen and I'd end up getting sick. And if I did, then that would look terrible to my boss. And I don't.
Are you afraid that you would get sick?
I'm not so much afraid, but you hear about shit all the time where people are like, well, there was food poisoning. And I'm just like, well, that would suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that don't set in until...
I know, it usually takes a little bit, but if it's salmonella, sometimes salmonella can set in very quickly. Like, it'll have a very quick onset. The one that I did, we got sick off of tuna fish, and it took less than 8 hours to get sick. And as soon as we did, it was everything in your system just came right to fight. I had turds that were waiting to come out, and that decided to come out of my mouth, if that tells you anything. I have never puked fucking harder in my life than the time I got sick with that. And I just it was just this, and I can open up my mouth really wide, but like, it was just a cannon of puke that just... and
you could put out a fire.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was like a fire hydrant of puke. It was just... But I have never puked so hard in my life, and the weirdest part about that is it came out so hard and so violently for so long.
Like...
Yeah, like it just kept coming out, and I'm just like,
I
gotta
fire
stop to
hydrant.
breathe. You know that feeling, man? You know that feeling? I've got to stop to breathe because in order to throw up, you have to breathe out. I don't know if you know that, but you almost always have to breathe out because you have to push in on your stomach so hard. You can't have any air in your lungs. So the majority of the time, you have barely anything in your lungs while you're puking. Because
that can be dangerous.
Yes, because then you try to breathe in and you're still throwing up. You can breathe all that in and it'll kill you. It's called, it's what Jimi Hendrix died from.
Asphyxiation.
It's got another name. It's very close to asphyxiation. But yeah, it's like exasperative asphyxiation or something. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's dangerous, and that
or you could collapse your lung.
Yeah,
when you get that low of air.
Yes, yeah, you compress if when you get violently sick, your stomach muscles tense on purpose. Your body knows what to do. So when you're like, you all of a sudden go from Mr. Fat Ass to fucking having this 9-pack of abs. You know what I mean? Because that shit is cringing so hard. And you end up throwing up all this stuff.
And you're sore for 3 days.
Yes, exactly. And your stomach hurts. And you're just like, oh my God, it's the worst. It's terrible. Yeah, and I don't want to experience that. You know what I mean? I would just rather skip the meal. And then what I do is I do this little thing for myself as I say, after this is over, I'm going to go treat myself to something. I'm going to go to Sheetz and get some chili dogs, or go to Rutters and get something, or go to, McDonald's and get something. And I know it sounds cheap, but you know what I mean? It's like just trying to save a little bit of cash, at least a little bit. Even though I just bitched about McDonald's for like a fucking hour.
Oh, dude, if they said, help yourself, man, I'm loading up.
Well, that's the thing, man. This last one I was at, they were like, and if you're really cool with people, usually they're really cool with you. So I tell them, I'm sorry, I don't really eat. Oh, really? And they're like, why? I'm like, I just, I'm not really all that hungry, but at the same time, I just try to avoid, if anything were to happen. Oh, okay, I understand. Would you like me to make you a to-go box? Well, fuck yeah. I'm going to watch all these people, and if any of them start vomiting, this to-go box is going in the trash. You know what I'm saying?
Go in the trash.
Right, exactly. It's to go, all right. But that's the thing. The people are almost always really, really super friendly. And this last one I was at, they were very, very friendly. It was at Bay City.
I saw that.
Yeah. And
which I have not been to the new one.
Yeah, the new one is really pretty cool the way they have it laid out and everything. But yeah, the people there, the lady, I've seen this lady a million times before. We just don't have like an acquaintance situation, so we don't really talk. But I talked to her this time, and we had a good conversation going on and a rapport going on, and she was just really, really cool. She was like, let me pack you up a box. And man, she fucking hammered this box. It was a lot of shit in this box. As a matter of fact, half of it's still sitting upstairs. And at the end of the night, they were like, she goes, could you do me a favor and let everybody know that there's cheesecake back here for people to eat? And I'm like, cheesecake? I was like, what could be wrong with cheesecake? You know what I mean? So she's like, so I made the announcement, and she goes, there's a couple left. You want me to get you some? And I'm like, yeah, definitely, please.
And a can of cherries and blueberries.
Yeah, because
a whole can.
She goes, what kind would you like? Would you like just plain or cherries or blueberries? And I'm like, blueberries. She's like, all right, good, thank you. And I'm like, no, I'm like, thank you, So yeah, she got me some cheesecake to go too. And I was like, sweet. But that's the thing. I mean, if it's one of those situations, people are usually really, really cool, and I've only had one wedding, which unfortunately happened to be a wedding that I knew the people that were getting married. Don't get me wrong, the wedding was great. The people were, it was fine. We had a good time. The only thing was the catering people were real dicks. I mean, the lady was just like, you know what I mean, like whipping everybody around her, and then she was getting miffy because the bride and groom were taking a little bit longer than they should have in order for them to start dinner, because they only had a small window to serve dinner. And I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to do. She's like, well, you kind of need to take control. And I'm like, I need you to step the fuck off, because I don't, don't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? That's
You're a DJ.
I'm
You're a
the one-
mouthpiece.
I'm the one that leads everything for the most part. I'm the one that gets things going and so on and so forth. But I am not the event coordinator. I'm not the person that gets things going and makes sure, that's not me. I'm the guy that makes the fucking announcement. That's it. So yeah, she was kind of getting on my case. Well, every DJ, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not every DJ. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing, and yeah, it may have only been 1 or 2 times. No. But no, she's like, and she just kept, and yeah, I didn't get any dinner that night. So I was just like, fuck you, And of course, it had to be a Maryland caterer, so it's just like, whatever, man, you cunt. So yeah, so I was just like, yeah, whatever, yeah. So me and the boss was there with me. Me and the boss went out and got freaking something to eat later on after that. So that kind of became, one of my things. It's like, end of the night, I'm going to go out and treat myself, And being a DJ is actually pretty cool. Sometimes when you're not expecting it, somebody comes up to you at the end of the gig, and they're just like, thank you very much. We had a great time. Everything was wonderful. And you feel good about that. And then sometimes they come up to you and go, you know what? We had a really great time. Here's $80. And I'm just like, I feel really hard about that. I'm going to go out and eat some fucking food like now. And usually I always go with the same joke. Somebody comes up and gives me a tip. Then one thing I do is instantly say to them, cool, I'm going to go get some hot dogs. You know what I mean? And I really do. I usually end up going and getting hot dogs. But they don't think I'm, they don't think, that I'm necessarily telling the truth, but I actually am. I want to go get some hot dogs because I didn't eat, I'm sort of hungry.
Because of your fucking caterer.
Yeah. Because your food, it looks amazing, smells amazing, but damn, I don't want to touch it because, Jesus, what happens if I vomit a fucking fountain onto the dance floor? Everybody starts slipping across the floor and shit. I greased the wheel. Yuck.
You remember that time that DJ threw up at your wedding?
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine being that talk of the town? And there's been a couple of times, too, where I slipped up on people's names.
That would be my... I think I'd have to write it down.
Oh, I do. I have it. I have it in my phone. I have it on my computer screen. And I have it sometimes on printed paper. And a couple of times it's happened where... I was announcing the people coming in, and instead of saying the girl's name as Taylor, I called her Tyler. Or a really good one was there was an outdoor wedding, and nice folks, very rustic American folks, if you know what I'm saying. They wanted to listen to the hard rock and heavy metal most of the night, which was kind of wild, but the best man, I announced him. Okay, I had the paper in my hand, and there was like hurricane strength winds blowing through the thing. So my paper was going all fucked up, and I couldn't, because I got to stand here with this, and then have the DJ stuff going, getting ready to go. And I saw the name, and I announced the name, and then my paper folded, and I only saw the woman's name, and I was getting ready to say her name, and I opened up the paper, and I looked at the line before it. So I read the same name from the previous people. So I read the right woman, but I got the wrong best man.
Okay. Oh.
And they gave me shit about that all night. But I tell you what, man, that was one gig. That was one of the only gigs where they said how much to keep you on for another hour. So I didn't do too bad of a job. As a matter of fact, that last hour was pretty kick-ass. Everybody was trashed. I mean, they were all fucked up. I mean, there were like 19-year-olds there that just trashed. But it was like, oh man, these people are having a good time and they're really getting into it. And I have a video from it, as a matter of fact. The people at the end, as the music that I played was Journey's "Don't Stop Believing," because I said, well, I only have a choice. We only have one more song left to play because my hour they paid for, which they didn't really pay all for, but it was $50 an hour, but they paid me $44, I think. They were like, 44 is not bad, and I'm like, but it's not 50.
Okay, I'll stay for 53 minutes.
Right, exactly. I should have just been like, well, let's just take a little off the top there. But I said I only can play one more song, so I put it up to a vote. And I said, who wants to hear this and who wants to hear that? And, of course, it sounded like the one had it, so we played Journey's Don't Stop Believing. Dude, I had fucking people getting up on plastic tables, dancing. Have you ever seen those folding plastic tables with the legs? I had 4 girls on top of that. Well, and I was just like,
that's asking for America's
right,
Funniest
exactly.
Video.
So I'm videotaping the whole time. I'm just like, these white motherfuckers is gonna fall and somebody's gonna die.
Did it happen?
No, it didn't. It didn't. They were drunk as shit and they were moving around and the table just kept swaying back and forth. And I was just like, it's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen now. And it didn't. And I was just like, oh man, I'm so glad that didn't happen, because if it had, they would have been hurting.
Did you ever see Hot Tub Time Machine?
I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
you see the second one?
I did.
Did you like the second one?
Not as much as the first one. Yeah. Because it was kind of, I don't know, those guys are really, the guys who are acting in that are really funny.
They did really well together.
Yeah. Craig Robinson and the guy with the bald head or whatever, he's like the total character, the one basically Hot Tub Time Machine was about him. You know what I mean? The guy was like, he has the son or whatever. And,
yes.
Yeah. That guy, he's fucking hilarious.
And John Cusack did a good job in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. But there was that one part where you reminded me of it, where it was like, come on, man, I know he's got to lose his arm sometime.
Yeah.
I'm going to rip it off myself.
Yeah, that movie's a trip. Both of them are, actually. The first one, though, I like the first one better because it was just more inventive, I think. The second one just seemed a little more strained. Like they were trying to find stuff to, make fun of or have fun with. But, yeah. But that's the way it is with DJing, man. It's not, like you said before, I'm one of those people now. I'm one of those people that can just go in front of a bunch of people and not have a care in the world for the most part. I got to say, man, this show has definitely helped that.
Hasn't me.
Yeah, it has definitely
Hasn't
helped. Because
me. There's no audience that we can see.
Right, but that's the thing. You don't know that. There could be an audience. Eventually, there might be an audience. So everything you're saying, oh shit, you're getting stage fright, aren't you?
No, because I don't see the audience.
Right, but
I don't hear the audience. I don't feel the audience.
Get that paranoia going on with oh shit, somebody might eventually be watching this, and then I will have an audience.
Oh, I don't get that paranoia until after.
That's what I'm saying.
What
Now imagine that, but just on stage in front of a bunch of people. Just imagine that those people really just aren't there.
Well, see, dude, I can see people getting up and walking out when I'm doing my jokes.
That's true.
I can't hear them clicking on going to Facebook.
That's
getting
true too.
Away from my jokes.
That is true too. Yeah, that is actually kind of true. But that's the thing. The majority of people that would do that are people you wouldn't want to listen to your shit anyway.
No, but I just think I'm beginning to think it's almost inevitable that we're going to have to do the stand-up tour.
Did you go, as a matter of fact, the guys are coming back again. I just saw the ad for it the other day. You did not go with me to that. Roger did.
I went with both of them.
Did you? You went to that, the improv.
Yeah.
The improv, that's right.
Me, Christy, you, Christy, Roger, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Was there anybody else?
Yeah. No, I think it was just the 6 of us. What the hell was the name of that group? The
Popcorn Hat Comedy Players.
No, it wasn't that.
Jaws.
No, that's right. Yeah, we went to the Harrisburg Comedy Zone and saw them.
Yes.
That's right, over there in shit. The first time I saw them, I think it was, I don't know if Roger and Marilyn went to that one. We saw them at ABC, which is Appalachian Brewing Company over in Harrisburg.
Okay.
And then I told you, that's right.
Yeah.
And then I told you we have to go and see them.
And then we
sometime.
went and saw them at Harrisburg Comedy Zone.
Yeah, I can't remember what the hell they're called though.
I don't either. Although Harrisburg Comedy Zone's still in business.
Yes, yeah, because that's what I just saw on Facebook. As a matter of fact, those guys are coming back. And when we went to see them, the one guy that I know was not there. But when I looked at their their advertisement for November. They said that, or they showed a picture of the guy that I know is in there. So I don't know if he's back or what the deal is, but I think improv comedy is actually very funny, as long as the people know what makes it funny. You know what I mean?
I can't help but wonder how much is really improv.
Well, that's true too. Like, like when you sit down and watch, when you go down, sit down and watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And you see Colin Mochrie do those things where like they come on, he and Ryan Stiles are sitting there. Colin Mochrie's the bald guy, and he goes, Ryan Stiles says something. They're going to sell a product together, and Ryan Stiles goes, "We'll be back right after this. We'll be back to the monster that ate Pittsburgh right after this. But first," and then he looks over at Colin Mochrie, and Colin Mochrie gives off this spiel of stuff. It's just absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know damn well he didn't create that shit on the spot.
Right.
He had a template for what he was going to say before he actually got there. So it's not really an improv situation.
And something that's even harder to do that, and they do that on that show all the time. Singing on the spot, making up some rhymes, making it sound, and what rhymes with rhymes?
Times.
Times. And those are hilarious.
A lot of times they are. Wayne Brady's really, really good at that.
That's the black guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's usually really good at that shit. But I always think the teams of Colin Mochrie and Ryan Stiles are always really funny.
Well,
Wayne Brady's good too.
They're both funny people.
The ones that always make me laugh almost every time, though, are the props. Whenever they get the props and you have like the thing and then they have to make it look like something and then like they put it up on their head and it's like mouse ears or some shit, or then they turn around and make it like this bra or whatever. Dude, it's fucking hilarious. Those shits are, that really to me seems like that's mostly improv. Like they had to come up with that like right then and there. Uh-oh.
Well, we're moving on up.
Reconnection successful.
To the sky.
Well, apparently we disconnected for a second there. All live streams offline. Oh, no, we're back online. Okay. Yes, we were just talking about improv. Hopefully you didn't lose out too much on that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Are we live? I guess we're live. Yes, we are. Okay, very good. Anyway, internet, what are you going to do? So, yeah, but that's, that's the interesting part, man, is that I think improv is kind of one of those things we could do. That's the other thing, too, and that's why improv exists. So that way the spotlight's not just on you, it's on everybody in the group.
Yeah, but...
To an extent.
Yeah, improv... Okay, but I think I'd rather have something scripted.
Something scripted so that way you can
and
go
polished.
over it. Yeah, so you can go over it when you get out there.
And you know what? That's what I realized coming here tonight. I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
They call them routines.
Yeah. Skits, routines, yeah.
So, it's a dance routine. It's a choreographed.
Yes.
They know what they're going to say.
And how they react.
And how they're going to say it.
Right. Yes.
The whole way through.
Yeah.
If I could do that. And it's not like they do a new show every night.
No, they go on and do the same
show for maybe.
They might have a handful that they do though. You know what I mean? Because if you do a regional tour, or you do an international tour, or whatever, you might play 3 or 4 shows in one location. So in other words, you might do 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at some giant theater. And each of those nights might have different stuff. You might have some of the same incorporated stuff, and you might have some stuff that changes. But most of it is, you can put it all together as a thing.
Choreographed dance routine.
Basically, yeah. As one giant, you're basically doing a play. For the most part, you're basically getting up on stage and you're doing a play before everybody, and that's it. And the one thing that's really cool about that kind of situation is those people that are coming there to see whatever show it is that you're doing, if you're the only act, then more than likely you're not doing it in front of 10 people. You're doing it in front of 1,000 people.
Oh, God.
Okay? If you're the only act. But that you had to have gotten up to a point where you become the only act.
Yeah.
So in order to get there, you have to go before 10 people, but guess what? Those 10 people have seen this comedian, now you, and now this other comedian, this other comedian. See what I'm saying? So you're in the mix. You're not just, you know what I mean? Those 10 people may not be there to see you. They may not be there to see the first 2 acts. They might be there to see the last guy. Maybe he's the headlining act. But that's the point. They're there to see them. They're not going to leave. See what I'm saying? The only way that changes is if we go to an open mic. Because an open mic, nobody knows. You don't know who's going to show up at an open mic. There's no schedule of people to show up. So yeah, somebody might get up in the middle of the routine and leave. Maybe they're upset, maybe they're pissed off, whatever. They get up and they leave. But that's really kind of what that leads up to. You know what I mean? Open mic leads to the comedy club owner or the club owner saying, you know what, I loved you guys' act, let's do some more. And then they put you on a schedule with 3 other acts or 5 other acts. Then you do really well there and somebody comes along and says, hey, you know, I want you to do this night with only these 3 acts. And now we do those 3 acts. And it just so happens those 3 acts now were the headliners. And then those 3 acts go along and then all of a sudden the club owner says, you know what, you guys are fucking phenomenal. I want you here on your own by yourselves. And you're going to headline your own act. There's going to be nobody. You can have openers if you want, but you don't have to. It could just be you guys by yourself. You get the whole pay of $3,000. And then that night, 150 people show up. Because they want to drink or they want to see you. Or they want to see us. See what I'm saying? That's how that works. That's progressively how it gets better and better and better. But in order to do that, you have to start at the bottom rung. You really do.
Open mic night.
Basically, yes. Unless we come up with something and, you know, the Jeff and Dan show takes off and people are just like, this fucking show's amazing. And all of a sudden we get huge. Then all of a sudden we're doing stadium tours without ever having to jump those small hoops. See what I'm saying? But in order for it to even get to that, really kind of what we need is to have that resume. You can go to open mics. Anybody can go to an open mic. That's why it's called open mic. Anybody can go there and do that. But imagine if you could skip the open mic part. Imagine if you and I did skits. We put them on YouTube. We got a bit of a fan following, and then we go to a club owner and we say, hey, look, this is us. We want to do a show. And they're like, okay, I'll put you on the schedule with these 4 other acts. Then you got to skip open mic. See, it's a level of progression to everything.
But you still got to start somewhere. You still got to get on that stage.
Exactly. And the stage could be YouTube. And for you, that might be the perfect thing.
Well.
But it's not going to help you in the long run because we get on stage with all those people. Let's say we do become huge on YouTube. And then a club owner or a fucking stadium owner or whatever comes to us and says, I need you guys to come and perform for me.
And
now you have to do it before 10,000 people. And you're just like, I did.
My friend Jeff.
And this is a Dan. So, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we could, you know, that's how the situation goes. Now, I've performed DJing or whatever in front of, I think, a max of 250 people. And I didn't crack, so I was good. I was a little nervous. I won't lie. I get a little nervous when I'm doing it because I think I'm going to fuck up. And that's the only thing. I get a little bit nervous, but I'm not nervous to be in front of these people. I'm nervous that I'm going to fuck up. You know what I mean?
What about whenever you sang?
That didn't bother me either. But usually if I sang, it was because I was behind other people singing or karaoke. And every time that I've done karaoke, everybody's been real positive about it. But then again, I kind of knew what my range was, and I didn't want to go outside of that. So,
and a lot to be said to knowing your limits, knowing your strengths.
Right, exactly. And that's one of the things too is that we need to know. But that's kind of what we need you to work with, is figuring out not what your strengths are, but just figuring out what kind of comedy and where we can get to with that specific type of comedy.
Right.
What can you perform?
Write a routine.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Yes. And remember that majority of routines, I told you about the Cheech and Chong, their routine started out as pretty much their movies. They had like a little skit thing that they used to do. But then here, 40 years later, they went and did their stand-up, and all it was routines from the movies. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's fucking great, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, we've already seen this shit. You know? It's still funny, but it's still, you know, we've already seen it. So, I mean, it can be, you know, it can be just about anything. Then again, it's Cheech and Chong. You can get high and totally forget about what all their movies were about and just be like, all right, man, you guys are fucking hilarious. You know?
Get high just hanging around them.
Yeah. It's like,
Although I hear Cheech is sober.
for the most part, yeah.
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 Chong,
He's never sober.
I've heard off and on he's been sober, but if he ever was, I don't think he's been sober for long.
It's been short periods. That and when he went to prison, he ended up going to prison for a couple of things.
Taxes?
I
Or weed?
I think one of them was weed possession. I think another one was taxes or something. It was something. Yeah, he ended up going to jail for a little bit for dumb shit. It wasn't possession. It was paraphernalia. They didn't catch him with any weed because he smoked it all.
Doesn't he live in Pittsburgh, or does he have some kind of Pittsburgh connection?
I don't know. He might. I don't know. He might. I don't know. I'm not sure where Cheech is from either. I think
Mexico.
he might be Southern California. Well, I think he's from East LA, but I'm not.
I'm thinking that's where
100%.
he's from.
So, but yeah. He was born in East LA. I was. So. But yeah, so the Jeff and Dan show is going to be changing. Coming up soon, 2020. It's going to be different.
We starting that in 2020?
We're starting that in 2020.
Are we going to start it next week?
Oh, we're going to start that in 2020.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because we like the fact that we love talking to you people.
One of us does.
Yeah, but our faces are just terrible for this shit.
His is. Mine's okay.
Yeah, he's the pretty boy.
Yeah, I got all this white here though that young girls don't like.
Yeah, I'm just the nipple player. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Left, right, left, oops. Left, right, left, right, left, right, start.
Fart.
Yeah. All right. No,
All
but
right.
yeah, we're gonna do a combo of stuff, man. So yeah, you'll see more of our skits, but you won't see
Just
banter.
stay tuned.
That's right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right,
Thanks
people.
for tuning in, everybody.
Yes, this is our bush at the last of the push. So, you guys have yourself a wonderful evening.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to visit us on our Twitter and Facebook pages, as you've seen them streaming out there for a while now. Over here on this area, over there under Dan's balls. Yeah, somewhere over there. Very good. All right, man. I am Jeff.
I am Dan.
And we shall talk to you later. See ya.
Have a good night.